Yeah, please. Thank you.
So, hello everyone. This is FinEcon, and this is episode number 8. And today we are having Mirkomil Tolyaganov as a guest speaker. And about himself, shortly, he is currently a manager at KPMG Uzbekistan, particularly Deal Advisor Department. And he's CFA Level 3 candidate. And today we will mostly talk about career at finance, particularly KPMG company, and also some of the advices or tips that he can share regarding, general career profession. And also we will get into CFA journey too. So, hello, Mirkomil. Thank you for joining us. We're happy to have you.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to speak with you today, and I really appreciate that opportunity. And actually, I got prepared a bit. I thought what I can talk about, what would be my main message in this voice chat, and I have found one. And if you don't mind, uh, I will read it out.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay. I'd like to say that actually the best thing I can say today is that everything I have reached in my life I really owe to God, and everything I don't have I owe to myself. So with that mindset, I want to encourage you that you can achieve anything you set your mind to, and work hard toward that goals. I believe that God will give you what you desire if you create enough reasons for that, and if the timing would be relevant for you for your life. So, as an action plan, I suggest you to write down after this call. I suggest you to write down a clear plan for what you want to achieve in the next 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years. And you can, how to say, draft a plan, then edit it. Yes, and uh, yeah, I wish you all to achieve what you want in your life, and that's the main thing I would like to say today. And now let's enjoy the podcast. Hope you have a great time today, and please feel free to ask any questions you want.
Yeah, Mirkomil, thank you for the great introduction, which I have not been expecting. And you really have given the strong message, like trusting the God and also doing your best. If
Yeah.
you're failing, that's your own mistake, and don't blame somebody or else than yours. And yeah, and also as a reminder, if anyone wants to ask question from the speaker, I will let you ask questions at the end of the interview, because we have some of the questions that we thought that would be useful. Maybe some of them can answer your questions already. So, but if you cannot answer your question, then you can ask in the end. So let's start with like opening and career journey, which is the first part. And I know that you joined it at KPMG as an intern. If I'm not mistaken, that's a risk consulting department.
Yeah.
And then you became a manager at KPMG after working there for the past 5 years. So what do you think? What are the maybe 2 to 3 important moments, or it can be decisions that really, accelerated your career progression in general? Thank you.
Uh, I believe the the key decisions that I've made that helped me to progress in my career was to decide what I want. I wanted it really hard. I wanted to grow. I want to my earnings to rise, and I focused on my work only. So all these years, I my main interest was my work, and uh, after work, I also devoted time indirectly to my professional skills by studying CFA, and I think that helped me a lot. I was um, I progressed really well in my skills and knowledge about finance.
Yeah, then that means like to be able to grow as quick as possible. And I'm not sure if 5 years is quick, but I feel like to me it seems to be quick. And so you should focus on your work only, and then when you got extra time, you should develop your skills that are directly related to the job, right?
Yes, but it's not universal advice. It was good for me. My work was important for me at that time, and that's why I put everything else on hold. By everything else, I mean my health, my family. So for someone that would be, how to say, unreasonable, but for me, that was reasonable to do. Yeah.
Yeah, also I heard from other people too when we talked when they started their career, especially in finance, they really had to sacrifice their health. Sometimes they had to work longer hours to be able to grow quickly. And yeah, I also believe that you should sacrifice. I don't know. Maybe it can be your health, your family when you're getting started to be able to grow quickly. And now let's get into like professional development, which also can be CFA part. Before we talk about CFA, I found out that you participated in the CFA Institute Research Challenge. Honestly, when I was in Uzbekistan, I never heard of it. But when I came to South Korea, I heard about that, but I didn't have any chance to participate in yet. So, in general, how does this challenge helped your career? And second part of the question is, what should entry level professionals like they just started their career journey in finance prioritize CFA examination certifications compared to others? What I mean, like other certifications. What do you think?
Uh, okay. Well, for those who don't know about the CFA Research Challenge, it's a challenge where you need to write an equity report. So you are assigned at a company and you need to analyze it and come up with the share price. And we did that we, with our friends when we were, you know, third year student or fourth year, and it actually defined my career choice. Uh, CFA Research Challenge helped me to understand what I want to do in my life. I really got onto building financial models, and uh, that kind of brings me satisfaction when all the numbers you forecast come up to one beautiful number into, well, maybe not one, it could be a range, but you get the share price, and that's beautiful for me. Now, asking to the second part of the question, should you prioritize CFA over other certifications. I believe that depends on what you want to do, who you want to become. If you want to become a CFO at some company, um, you mostly will need ACCA. You need to understand how the accounting works in detail. If you want to be in investing, want to work at hedge fund, private equity, then CFA is better. And there is also certifications. I know FMVA, which is financial modeling. I think that certification is not quite difficult to obtain, but it's very useful. FMVA is taught by the Corporate Finance Institute, and the course structure is really well thought, and it gives you an idea how to build financial models. Other certifications I could think of, CPA, that's for auditors. I don't know really much about that, but I believe that also would be suitable if you want to work as a CFO. So yeah, that would be my answer.
Yeah, thank you for the answer. And yeah, I think yeah, I have to also think about then joining the challenge of CFA Institute Research Challenge, because you talked how important it was shaping your career journey, even decision. And regarding CFA, I have one question. Maybe other people have this question too, especially if they are student. And what do you think? Like, should student get a CFA level one before they graduate, or after they get some work experience, which means after graduation? What's your advice based on your circumstance and this journey?
Uh, if you have an opportunity, I suggest you actually get work experience while studying. Um, so maybe you can start doing internships starting from third year of the university. That would really help you, uh, um, first of all, in finalizing your learning, because uh, at work you understand how the knowledge you gain at the university is put in work, what's relevant, what's irrelevant, and and you understand by trial and error what you like to do and what you don't like. So if you're studying and you have spare time, please try having internship, and an internship at a good place where you can get great exposure to finance, not just a place which you get which you can use as a name in your CV, but really you need a good working experience, good challenge, working challenge.
Yeah, thank you for the answer, and especially the last part, really interesting. Like saying that not just the place which looks good on your resume. So, do
Yes.
you think working in a large company compared to the small company where you have so much export to the finance and you have to take care of almost beginning to end, which one would be better? Like great name or the great experience where you have to get almost everything done by yourself, so you learn a lot.
Mm. Ideally, if this is a place where which has a great name and small size. But if you have to choose, I suggest choosing a small company because, as you said, you have to do everything, and that that would count as a great experience. In a big company with great name, there is a risk of being a part of the system, and there could be a lot of senior people who will do the interesting part of the job, and you may end up doing something not really exciting. So small company, I think, would be better, a better choice.
Yeah, that really makes sense. And so my last question regarding CFA, and I don't know if I heard this from you or maybe other finance professionals when I reached them out to regarding CFA and on LinkedIn. Someone I can remember, but they mentioned that CFA is good certification, but it's not really applicable to the Uzbekistan's market since we don't have a really active financial market where you can have huge or a lot of liquidity in the market. And so, what could be the some of the CFA concepts that you use in your job almost daily basis? Because so that we can explain CFA is not just a theory; it's also practical things that we can use during our real work experience. Thank you.
CFA consists of a lot of subjects. Uh, uh, there are some statistics, economics, corporate finance, fixed income analysis, and some of it is really useful, and I do use that at work, but I don't. I would say I can't say that I learned it only because I studied it in CFA, because I could learn that by studying other courses like FMVA, as I told you before. I could learn that from YouTube. CFA, the advantage of CFA, no, the use of CFA primarily, I, in my opinion, is a signal to the industry, to the finance industry, that you can uh, you can sit and learn uh, consecutively, like half a year, and learn different different subjects at once. It only shows how strong you are, how strong your mind is. That's it. The knowledge CFA gives, you can find it elsewhere, but the plus of the CFA is it gives you the structured knowledge. So all you need is at one place. Most of you need is at one place, and I should add that some of the CFA knowledge is really not applicable in Uzbekistan, especially derivatives. We don't have derivatives market, so and once you learn something that you don't apply, it really goes away very quickly. So, as I said at the beginning, if you want to learn something very well, to finalize your learning, you need to put that in work. Otherwise, you will forget that.
Yeah, thank you for the answer. But in general, do you suggest taking CFA? Because I was surprised when our last guest, I think it was before the last guest speaker who studied at Wharton, he did not recommend CFA at all. even though he has CFA designation, which was really surprising. And but do you still suggest taking CFA, even though we may be aiming to work in Uzbekistan for the long term?
I advise having CFA only if you want that three letters to be put in your uh, uh, in your name, and you need that in the industry. So you need to get connections, you need to get clients, and having CFA in your name really helps that. At least that's the good first impression. So the person who understands what CFA is, he gives you some credit of respect because you have that. That's it.
Okay, thank you uh, for the insights. And now let's move on to the next part. So we will talk about basically carry in finance in general. So let's start with maybe deal advisory and KPMG part. So my first question regarding this, on LinkedIn, if I'm mistaken, you worked on the more than 20 projects related to advisory in the energy, utilities, materials. So my question is, what could be the most surprising things that you learned about business valuation when you're working that maybe textbooks do not teach at all? Because that's really interesting to know. That's for me personally. Thank you.
Um, the most interesting thing I realized it is valuation is not really a science, even though you work with numbers. Uh, it's more of an art, and the result we get, you can prove being right or wrong only with time. Like you make forecasts for 5 years, 10 years, and you will know whether you are right or wrong only at least after 2 years, maybe 3 years, when you compare factual numbers with what you have forecasted. And I think that's why we exist. uh, our job as a valuation analyst is to increase our chances of being right, or nearly right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, Now, maybe we can talk about deal advisory. And so, my question can be broken into like two parts. So, first part is, can you tell us what deal advisor actually do? What's their job? What's their responsibility? How they create value to the client? And the second part is, which is really maybe essential to know for almost everyone listening to us right now, is apparently you have been part of the hiring process into the department. So, what are the skills that someone, if they want to join deal advisory, should develop, except the financial modeling, of course? I think it's the default skill in finance. And so that would be great to know if we can get to know the like profile of the applicant, which can be accepted to the deal advisor department, that you can maybe describe in general way. Okay, if he has this or if she has this certification, maybe, so that we can invite him or her to the interview. Yeah, thank you. That's really essential question.
Oh, sorry. uh, yeah, I forgot to turn on my microphone. So, deal advisory, we offer several services, and that's M&A. M&A is advisory, valuation, transaction services, and financing. M&A is stands what it stands for. We help with acquisitions. We also work on the sell side, and their job actually is quite interesting. Um, no, I'll talk about them just in a moment. So next is valuation. Valuation is subdivided into two groups: fixed assets valuation and the business valuation. Fixed asset valuations, uh, they they would value um, buildings, land, equipment, and next service I told transaction services. They do financial due diligence. They work together with M&A group, so they take part in acquisitions. And the final one is financing. We help companies to get financing from banks. So we build financial models for them, then we negotiate terms with the banks. Now, M&A. Uh, I like that group, what they do. The work is really interesting, even though very stressful. The typical project takes about, I believe, 6 months, so m- maybe even more, because it's not that simple actually to turn the acquisition or selling, and they work a lot with other streamlines. So they work with transaction services that do due diligence, financial due diligence. Then they work with tax advisors that do tax due diligence and tax advisory. Um, they work with legal department, and in their job, um, the important thing is to be to be stress resistant and be proactive, be good in communication, and they are also good in analytics and calculations. So they build financial models, but their models could be high level. Uh, they orient more on multiples, valuation multiples, rather than um, cash flow models. Yeah. If you want, I can talk about other groups as well, like in detail, how I talked about M&A. Um, and what was the second part of the question? Sorry. Oh, I remembered. It was about the candidates and how to get into deal advisory. Um, Jörg, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir. I can hear
Okay.
you. Well.
Okay. How about my question? Whether should I talk about other groups as well, like in detail, how I told about the M&A,
I
or I
mean,
can continue?
you don't really have to get into details.
Okay, all right. Then I will continue with the second part of the question. What you need to have to get into deal advisory? Mm, that's an interesting question. Of course, you need to know valuation approach, like that there is an income approach to value companies, there is a market approach, and there is a cost approach. Then we get into details. During the interview, we ask what valuation methods you know, and how you choose which one to use. And it's good to know how to build high level financial models to, at least um, to be able to um, do financial modeling, how to say, in theory, like how you would forecast revenue, how you forecast cost of goods sold, and so on. Which cash flows would you calculate, like free cash flow to equity to firm? What discount rate you would use? How you would go to the how you would calculate the terminal value when you will go to the terminal period. So during the interviews, we kind of simulate the evaluation process, and we try to understand how good is the candidate in evaluation. Uh, did it if he had any experience with that, and so mostly that. So you need to know financial modeling. We need um, how to build cash flows. Besides, you need to understand the concepts in valuation. Just mm, just so that your answers would be you can justify your answers, your choices. Like wh- there's a question we ask one of them, like how which beta would you use for your company, why, and that beta, why would you use that beta, like if it's one or if it's more than one, why so.
Yeah, that's really um, insightful answer. And
uh,
do you think
mhm.
uh, have you finished it or not yet?
That's the answer for questions financial evaluation group. In other groups like M&A, transaction services, they have different sets of questions. So our questions are uh, tailored to the group you are applying for.
Yeah, then that's gonna be really different, compared to the, I mean, based on
Yeah,
the group that we're applying to,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
how we
Mhm,
can better prepare for such kind of interviews and basically getting into such kind of companies. How
mhm,
can we increase our chance of getting
mhm,
hired?
mhm,
When we are in a pool with like 100 plus applicants.
mhm. Um, so first, to get the interview, you I think your CV should stand out. You should be active in your social life, or you should have some work experience. Then once you have an interview, it's all about your skills and your understanding. uh, with valuation, um, I suggest building two or three financial models, like high level models. And once you do that, you really get on this how to model that, and your answers will be very good because you did that. You understand how that works.
And do you have any maybe resources that we can use to better prepare for the interview and applying to KPMG and other companies?
Mhm. um, Sorry, I would again say FMVA. I should make a disclaimer. They are not paying me for that. I just like the course, how it's structured. So I suggest taking FMVA course. It will help a lot. And if you don't want to study FMVA, you can find free resources on Damodaran website. That's the name of the professor who teaches valuation in New York Stern University. I believe you can call him the father of valuation, um, because he really kind of delivers that knowledge in such a detail, and in all the resources that he publishes are free, so you can learn study them, and get the knowledge you'd get if you studied in New York Stern University in USA. So my first resource would be FMVA. Second resource, Damodaran.
Yeah, thank you. I think I will share those resources after the interview. And now you're working as a manager. So actually, you're working there for the past 5 years. So what's the biggest difference that you noticed between being like, let's say, top achiever, just working just yourself individually, compared to managing others, also leading others to perform better? Like, what could be the difference that you noticed after becoming the manager?
Um, the main difference is that the outcome you get is no longer dependent on your own inputs. So your skills, your knowledge, the effort you put in the work, uh, uh, they matter, but they don't matter as much as they used to be when you were individual performer, like when you were solo performer. Now it's really important how you work as a team, and you need to know how to delegate the tasks, and um, how to manage the team, not only their work but also their how to say their mindset, how to motivate them, because sometimes you need to sit late night, and it can become difficult. At that time you need to know how to motivate your team, um, to deliver the outcome in a timely manner without losing enthusiasm. So yes, shortly saying, the outcome no longer depends on you, it depends on your team, and you need to know um, how to orchestrate your team well, so their individual efforts combine into a one nice music.
Yeah, thank you. And also I believe that would be a really huge responsibility to manage such kind of intelligent and also team at one of the largest companies in the world. And so, if you, let's say, could go back to like 22-year old yourself, maybe that, let's say, after you just graduated, what what are the things, if you have, that you could have done differently compared to the way you did in the past? That's really interesting to know, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, that's an interesting question actually. What I would have done different. I think I would try to get work experience early on. If I were in my university years, I would apply for internships even though they wouldn't pay anything, I would still choose to work for them to get work experience. Then I will s- I would have started doing certifications. I would started from FMVA. Then I would choose between CFA and ACCA, and I would talk to other people uh, to uh, to to ask them questions how to get where they are working, what I need to learn, and if there is a free internship opportunity at that place. I believe what you do, Diarbek, is really good. You reach out to people, you ask questions, and maybe sometimes you don't get answers, but I believe mostly people are ready to answer, to share their story, and if but by doing that, by reaching out and learning about the experiences of other people, you can navigate your own future well. You can know what are the hurdles, what are the opportunities, and that would help you to get better results.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. So I'm also doing that. At the same time, I'm trying to share those tips shared by the finance experts like yourself. And now, let me ask my last question. So since you're in Uzbekistan, I'm really out of touch these days since I'm not in Uzbekistan. And so, looking at Uzbekistan's current financial market development, what do you think? What are some of the emerging opportunities that young students or maybe young finance professionals should be watching so that they can take advantage of it?
I think we have a rise of venture funds. There are a lot of new funds like Aloka Ventures, then UzVC, the other names I can't remember, but there are a lot of new venture funds, and they that started to invest in startups in Uzbekistan, and I think that would be two things to focus on uh, in the future of Uzbekistan: venture capital and IT. So if you are in finance and you are interested in investing, um, y- I think you should make your way to funds, and to funds that specialize in IT startups. So you need to know also about IT projects, especially in AI. I believe AI is our future, and so knowing that would help you to navigate yourself in the future.
Yeah, thank you, Markamolake, for the answers. I really appreciate your time. And let me ask, does anyone have any questions to the speaker? Raise your hand, please. Okay. So we can have maybe one question, but I don't know the person's name. Okay, now you can ask. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Just a quick question. On the poster for today's session, I saw the Mirkomil is a level 3 candidate, and my question is, when you planning to complete this journey? Maybe I missed the part. This question was asked. Yeah, just thank you.
Uh, Sardar aka, assalamu alaikum. Dirbek, that was my friend. His name is Sardar.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah,
No.
he joined the call to support me. Thank you very much, Sardar aka. Uh, yeah, I plan to complete the CFA in 2026, hopefully. Thank you for your question.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Sabaraka, supporting us. So if anyone maybe yeah, I think nobody has questions. We answered, and we actually did cover. Oh no, we have. Okay, let's take this question as a last question, then we can end the session.
Mhm.
Now, Ruslan, okay, you can speak. You are the last
Good evening,
question.
everyone. I had a little question about the certifications, particularly about ACCA. For example, if I want to improve my abilities in valuation and some deal advisory skills, uh, mm, except CFA certification, if we talk about ACCA, which papers should I prioritize in order to boost my skills? Thank you.
Ruslan aka, thank you for your question. Let me check out the ACCA papers, and I will try to answer your question.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, business technology, management accounting, financial accounting. I believe the one that would help with valuation would be financial accounting and maybe financial reporting. The two papers would help to understand the financial statements of the companies. But for valuation, I would suggest studying rather FMVA, financial modeling course. That would be more relevant.
Okay, got you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, that was the last question. Unfortunately, I cannot get any more because of time limit. And I really think we covered really important parts. And so, thank you everyone for listening us, and special thanks to Mirkomil joining us. I can say tonight. Yeah, your advice have been really helpful, and I believe they will be helpful too in the near future for those who are going to listen to this interview. And yeah, thank you everyone. I appreciate your time. So let's talk next time. Thank you. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Uh, yeah, for those who couldn't who couldn't ask the question on the voice chat, please feel free to reach out to me in LinkedIn or in Telegram if you can see my number anytime with any question. I would be happy to answer your question. Yeah, thank you for your time. Bye.
Yeah, he's really helpful to answer it. That's from my own experience. Yeah, thank you everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you, dear Beck.